world moves fast. Your workday, even faster. Pitching products, drafting reports, analyzing data. Microsoft 365 Copilot is your AI assistant for work. Built into Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and other Microsoft 365 apps you use. Helping you quickly write, analyze, create, and summarize. So you can cut through clutter and clear a path to your best work. Learn more at Microsoft.com/M365 Copilot.
Every sip of Coca-Cola brings you closer to the excitement of the FIFA World Cup 26. Because nothing compares to the joy. So grab a Coke and drink in the FIFA World Cup 26. No purchase necessary. 13 plus in 50 U.S. states and D.C. with a web-enabled device. Ends March 1st with 8 entry periods. Rules at cokeurl.com/soccer rules.
Kraft Mac and Cheese is better than 90s hip-hop. We'll remind you of your childhood without making you feel incredibly old. Kraft Mac and Cheese. Best thing ever.
Well, the holidays have come and gone once again, but if you've forgotten to get that special someone in your life a gift, well, Mint Mobile is extending their holiday offer of half off unlimited wireless. So here's the idea. You get it now. You call it an early present for next year. What do you have to lose? Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Limited time 50% off regular price for new customers. Upfront payment required. $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds may slow after 50 gigabytes per month when network is busy. See terms.
Hey, good evening, and welcome to the Uptown Parlay Podcast. Now your host, Ace.
We were just discussing Jared Stidham has swayed enough people that he is competent enough to not screw it up, that more money started coming in on the Broncos to cover that spread. But it feels like whoever wins that game is going to the Super Bowl to go lose because everybody believes that the NFC is going to be a heavy favorite, which is kind of interesting to me. That game feels like the Super Bowl before the Super Bowl.
Which is, I mean, I think, you know, especially if it's Seattle, right? Because everybody just thinks the Seattle is the juggernaut that you know still exists in this playoffs. Because I would say, just based off of what we saw last week, right? The Rams could have easily lost that game to your Bears. Like that could have happened, even though they were ahead, and you know it took some heroics from Caleb to even get to the overtime. There was never a moment in that game that felt like the Rams were in complete control. You know, you're muted still, Ace.
Their defense looked terrible, and they were playing in very cold conditions. But that was the sickest throw I've ever seen from a quarterback, running back 25 yards, stopping on the 41-yard line, and then just throwing a dart to the corner of the end zone, which some people said he couldn't see that. But there's no way he could not see my man when he was throwing to Cole Kmet, because that was perfect. You know who was vindicated on that throw? Who has been totally vindicated on that throw? And nobody's saying this. No, not you. Nobody's saying this, right? But you know who's been vindicated on this show on that throw? Who?
The fine people at EA Sports, because that type of throw has been happening in Madden for 15 years, okay? People have been running backwards and throwing forwards, reversing, and that shit's been going on for 15 years, and everybody, all the videos that you guys have posted, people have posted up talking about, oh, this never happens. It happened, okay? Caleb Williams did it, and it happened. So now, just like my man, was it Dennis Leary, who used to say, if it's in the game, it's in the game? Like that, EA Sports, it's in the game.
If it's in the game, it's in the game.
We got last season, we got Saquon Barkley jumping backwards over mofos, and now this year we got pirouettes to 45-yard touchdown passes. This shit is becoming NFL street, and that's what's happening right now. So EA Sports, you guys were ahead of the game with all of your glitches, because that's what Caleb. I think that's Caleb Williams' new nickname, is the glitch, because that motherfucker does stuff that's not supposed to be done. Like, it's just not. Like, he's just not supposed to do these things as a human and a quarterback, and he does it.
I like that better than the Iceman. Although I do love this celebration after the touchdown.
Well, isn't that the Trae Young one? Like,
well, Trae Young saying he's, Ice Trae Cole.
Ice Trae.
Come on.
Yeah, Ice Trae.
Your team traded you. They were like, you're not worth the money. You ain't gonna do this. Bears not trading
I
Caleb
just feel like
Williams.
you can't. Yeah, but you just can't like take another guy's celebratory thing unless like it's like okay.
We
I'm
forgot
the
about him
version of it.
already.
I don't know.
The Bears were playing in like negative 18 degree weather. He plays indoors. He ain't that cold, first of all. All right? Let's stop it right there.
I can't say I've watched the Washington game since he got traded.
He hasn't played one, but maybe they'll sell more tickets in the future.
Oh, he hasn't. Oh, he's been hurt.
He's still hurt,
okay.
yeah. They're trying to tank still.
Okay.
Tank-a-thon continue.
But yeah, no, but going back to what I was saying initially, so it sounds like, to your point, it sounds like Seattle is the favorite.
Yeah.
And so if Seattle were to win, it's like a foregone conclusion. But yeah, to your point, like whoever wins that NFC game is going to be the favorite in the Super Bowl.
4.5 points, I'm calling it right now. I'm predicting the next spread, no matter who it is.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Coaching carousel. I know we're still dealing with the outputs of that. It feels like, and you correct me if I'm wrong here, Ace.
You know I will.
It feels like this is the first season where coaches are still getting fired, and we're like 3 weeks into the playoffs.
Yeah. Well, one guy quit.
I don't remember this ever happening before. Yeah. So like coaching open every week, it feels like a new opening becomes available, and that's not been the case. So like now we have the Bills. Sean McDermott gets fired after their loss in Denver.
Question for you: you think that's a Super Bowl championship team? Because he sounded like Jim Dolan right there with that one, talking about we should go and we should win the Super Bowl with this team. I don't know about that.
No, and I think I said this on our chat, previously. I was like, it's interesting that I didn't think that the Bills were the best team going into the playoffs on the AFC side. I thought they had the best quarterback, but I didn't think they were the best team top to bottom on the AFC side.
You said it was I said it was Jacksonville, which I was completely wrong about. I believe, who did you say it was?
I picked the Bills to make it to the Super Bowl because of Josh Allen. But I said all of these teams, to me, all of these teams were flawed, and all of these teams were it would have been perfectly reasonable for any one of these teams to find a way to get lucky enough and find a way and get themselves into the tournament. So what I'm saying, I thought that the Bills were a flawed team, but they happened to be in a flawed bracket, so it made sense. So they could have found their way in because they have the best player. But he didn't play great. If he had played well, I think they would have won that game in Denver pretty easily.
Fair.
But he didn't. So, but yeah, absolutely. I think that team, I think I shared you guys the stat that was shared out over the course of the week that they haven't had any Pro Bowler since Josh Allen was drafted in 2018. The Bills have drafted 56 players.
Wait, not one on offense? Because they definitely had one on defense, right? Didn't
Well, they've had two total that have been Pro Bowlers since 2018. I don't know who those two are because I don't think the names were given.
I thought it was the defensive tackle they drafted out of Houston. I can't remember that guy's name.
The number was 2. So it was just that was just an interesting stat because that just tells you that the depth on this, and it's probably another reason why they've went out and signed a bunch of older guys who have older guys with a pedigree because they don't have they couldn't generate pass rush, so they went out and got Von Miller.
To that point on offense, who's that wide receiver that they got from Cleveland and then he retired?
Oh, Cooper.
Amari Cooper, who 13 years in the league. And then they signed Brandon Cooks, and he was running the fly routes, which is crazy that he was the fastest player in the team. Right. He's 12 years into his career.
Exactly. So if you're the type of team that's doing that, and you're putting guys in starting roles, and you're paying Joey Bosa coming off of multiple knee surgeries, to come and be your pass rusher extraordinaire, then clearly there's something up with the talent on the roster because you're not and the guys that you've selected and they're not producing at the level that you expect them to be. So I definitely think that there's some flaws on that roster, which is why I was so surprised that Bean got he got a promotion,
failed upwards
after the coach gets fired.
I can't, and presumably a raise.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I hope so. I never heard of anybody getting a promotion and no extra money. That should sounds weird.
What did you think of that press conference? Because Jim Dolan don't really give those kind of press conferences, but I think he saw my man down in Baltimore giving people straight facts, and he was like, "Oh, I can be cool. I can come on here and talk to the people. I can get on the mic and spit something."
That's exactly what. Look, I mean, first off, I liked it. If you're going to give here's the thing. If you're going to give a press conference, you better Jerry Jones the shit out of this. Because guess what? Everybody's following the Jerry Jones. Like, you can either not give a press conference.
Yeah. Like the Bears owners.
Just have the GM, or the president of football operations speak on your behalf and keep it that way. But if you're going to have a press conference, you better damn sure make it memorable, right? You better damn sure make it something that people want to talk about, or otherwise, what the hell are you doing there? And so everybody going for the narrative and going for the story, it makes sense. So I'm fine with it. It was wild. It was out there, but how many owners, interviews and stuff have been out there, like when they interview the owners.
That's true.
Like Jim Irsay, God rest his soul. He was a wild dude when he would get on the mic.
I enjoyed that one. Yeah.
Jerry Jones, as I mentioned, it's funny because the owners who just keep it, they're regular,
like John Mara.
Their teams tend to be like the standard, the teams that are the standard, like the Steelers, the Giants. Who else?
You know who my favorite owner whenever he does a press conference, the guy who owns the Jags. Sorry to interrupt. Shad Khan.
Oh, Shad.
Because he always shows up looking like a Bond villain with the curly mustache and like a crazy like silky shirt and suit on, just looking like $100 million at all times. It's just
and
here for
because the thing is, like, dude, if you own a team, like I own this team, I'm a multi-billionaire. I can say whatever the hell I want. Nobody can fire me either, right? So like, you got carte blanche, And anybody that's gonna shit on you, like, the owner, he's 80 years old, like nobody cares. It's like, he's old. That's what they do. Whatever, as long as he signs the checks, we're good. But yeah, so I'm fine with it.
You can even drop a few F-bombs next time, but he kept it clean, which was nice of him. He threw Keon Coleman under the bus though, and then they went back and found that footage of Brandon Beane talking about, "I'm glad he ran that, so now we can draft him." And I was like, wow. I was like, y'all, you don't remember this was on tape. You just did Hard Knocks like this year. We saw you. We saw all of you.
Right.
And then that was from the season when the Giants did the offseason one, and now no front office will ever do that ever again.
Yeah, exactly.
That'll be the one and only. And I will say, this in-season Hard Knocks is terrible. I did watch it, but it was, whew. That was
the NFC East, right?
Yeah, it was worse than the starting five. It was so anticlimactic because the Washington one was just like, we're going to limp through. Maybe we could do something. Everybody was eliminated.
That's what I think is the problem with it. That's what I think the problem with it is it's 4 teams. One of them is trash. Like one of them has.
It's going to be terrible. Yeah. It's like when they did the AFC North, it's like, I mean, it is still the Browns though. Although the media talks about the Browns so much, even though they're terrible. It's like talking about the Sacramento Kings. Like it's never really positive, even when they make the playoffs and do something right. Like they're still like light the beam, but like I mean, it's the Kings though. It's like that's generally the vibe. Yeah. We just take our time to like crap on them, and I don't know why that is.
Exactly.
And also,
exactly.
I wanted to say this because Ann was talking about this, and I agree with him. They're acting like Dante Moore going back to college. Yeah, man, go back and make that money. You're not ready yet. You started 1 year. You don't want to be a 1-year starter and go to the NFL. You need more reps. I get that. But why are we acting like the Raiders are these great developers of quarterbacks?
Tom Brady.
Oh, okay.
It's Tom Brady.
Is he the quarterback coach?
No, but that's the reason why.
Jamarcus Russell,
because people trust
Rich Gannon, dude that they got from Fresno who got him to a playoff game, and then they shipped him over to New Orleans. I don't remember his name right now. He's doing a podcast with his brother.
Derek Carr.
And who else?
Yeah.
And Aiden O'Connell. What are we talking about here?
Right.
So the Raiders are going to get this right?
All pre Tom Brady.
Yeah.
The thought is that
and the offense looked terrible this year with Geno. And Geno, he's not a great quarterback, but he's not terrible. Like he's a servable starter. And I'm glad he's getting paid finally. But like, so the Raiders are going to get it right at QB, but the Jets always screw it up. The last time they were good, it was like 2002. Rich Gannon was playing for them. But y'all want to tell me that the Raiders is going to figure it out? Word? That's what we're doing. We're just going to lie now.
But see the other thing, Ace. The other thing, Ace, that I think people do that there is a point about, right, is that how many Jets quarterbacks have we seen screw up on the Jets and now go like Sam Darnold's currently in the NFC Championship game,
and yet we don't believe that he's a good player.
But I'm saying, but that doesn't happen with Raiders cast-offs, right? It doesn't happen when you're trash when you're on the Raiders. You're trash when you leave the Raiders.
Derek Carr didn't look terrible.
So it doesn't
Saints.
matter.
I'm gonna be honest. Derek Carr didn't look terrible.
He was never healthy. He was never healthy. And look, I went to a Saints game where Derek Carr was playing, and I listened to Saints fans tell me how horrible Derek Carr was. So, and how they couldn't wait to get rid of him.
You got Drew Brees for 15 years. You're like, man, can't you go back to that?
Yeah, so I think that's the issue with the Jets is that the Jets are primarily seen as the type of franchise that's horrible at developing quarterbacks, and there's multiple instances in the recent memory of quarterbacks who went to the Jets, did not succeed, left the Jets, and have since gone on to succeed in other places. Geno Smith when he went to Seattle, Sam Darnold. There's one other guy I'm thinking of that where that distinction happens. So,
but they got it right with Sanchez, and that's who I think Sam Darnold is at this point.
Is Mark Sanchez?
Yeah, he's going to the NFC Championship game, NFC Championship game, and we all still think he's terrible. He won 14 games 2 years in a row, and we don't think any of that is because of him. They're a 2.5 point favorite. They're a 2.5 point favorite at home, and his defense is amazing. They probably got like 7 Pro Bowlers on it, and he's at quarterback, and your other best running back, Charbonnet, tore his ACL, and we're like, I don't know. Any other team, they'd be like a 4.5 point favorite. But no.
Yeah. I mean, the talent is there.
Yeah.
Maybe he's Brad Johnson.
That'd be an improvement. If he's Brad Johnson, he's going to be a Super Bowl winner. If he's Brad Johnson,
yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. If you're a Seattle Seahawks fan, that's what you
hope. He's more Trent Dilfer.
That he's Brad Johnson or Trent Dilfer or, one of those guys who, has one of those seasons where he's good enough to not screw it up and, just ride the wave of the defense to a championship.
Tell you this, they're not going to give him the long-term deal.
Because the Seattle defense – because here's the thing. Well, no, they won't. They already gave him like 3 years and 3 years and $100 million. But here's the thing: if you're a fan of any football, you want to be Sam. You just want Sam Darnold to not be C.J. Stroud, right? Because the truth of the matter is, like, C.J. Stroud, you can make an argument, and I think a lot of people have. C.J. Stroud lost his team a potential championship. That was a championship caliber defense,
and he blew it.
on Houston. He single-handedly took that team down, and so like that's the thing. Just don't be that guy, and we should be able to win because we're better than the team on the other side, which may not be the case, this week because the Rams are really good.
That's fair. So let's start with the pick of the AFC Championship game. Who are you going to take?
Yep. All right, so we got Broncos at Patriots at Broncos. Both teams 14-3. Broncos are the 1 seed. They're getting 4.5 points. The over/under is 42.5. Patriots are minus 225 on the money line, and the Broncos are plus 185 on the money line. I will go first. I'm going to take the 4.5 points. I'm going to take the points. I don't know.
Okay.
Well, I don't know that I don't know that the Broncos will win the game. But what I've seen from the Patriots have won both of their games both of their playoff games, both the wild card game against the Chargers and the divisional game last week against Houston, in convincing fashion. Their defenses played really well, and they effectively blew out both of those teams. And they only gave up 3 points to the Chargers and 6 points to, I can't remember what did Houston score. But I think by and large, the fact that they were at home and the fact that they were at home really played in their favor. So this is the first time road playoff game for Drake May and that young team, in Denver, which you definitely saw impacted the Bills to some degree, a more seasoned, veteran, team led by a veteran quarterback. So I just feel like with all of that in place, even though the Broncos are playing Jarrett Stidham, and you mentioned earlier the record that Sean Payton has with backup quarterbacks, I think that plays to me believing that the Broncos can at the very least keep it within the number. And this is not a blowout situation. This is a game that's closely score, one score. The over-under is 42.5. I would play the under in this game. I don't think the score gets really high. I think both defenses come out and perform, and maybe we get a game that's decided by 3 points or less. So I'll take the 4.5. Give me the Broncos and the under.
Taking the Pats, and I'm taking the under. The under is the safest bet here. And I'm taking the under because the Pats, when they played a good team in the Chargers, they beat them 16-3. Jarrett Stidham, I think they'll be lucky to score one touchdown if he operates the offense effectively. Because that would mean that he's a better quarterback than Bo Nix, which nobody believes. And I don't even think that Bo Nix is still that good. And I don't trust Sean Payton. I know he's a good offensive head coach. He's probably doing an amazing job as a coach because I don't think Bo Nix is that good, and they've gotten this far. But if he was healthy, I would be picking Denver. I think these defenses are going to play each other to a standstill. But if you can out-tough a Jim Harbaugh team, even as hurt as they were with the Chargers, and then you can do that against Houston's defense and put up 28, then you can score on anybody. Because they did that off top with DeMario Douglas. And they were even able to run the ball. So Stephon Diggs scored a touchdown in that one. He threw for 3 TDs. They didn't run for one.
Yeah, he did.
But they got 2 really good running backs in Henderson and also in Stevenson. So I think they're going to be able to cover, and I legitimately think it will be that close. I'll probably buy it up to 3 just to be sure, but I really think that the Patriots can squeeze out a victory here. I keep picking against Denver, but I have to because I have to believe that the Patriots defense is going to show up on the road. And also, let's not act like their head coach doesn't know what he's doing.
True.
He took a much worse quarterback in everybody's opinion in who's that guy in Tennessee who came? I can't even remember his name now. Who we were unsure of with Miami. Yeah, Ryan Tannehill, who said, I only want a starting job. Yeah. And everybody's like, you can stay home then. He took him to the AFC Championship game and almost won. He's doing it with Drake May in his second year. They got a much better defense. They're getting the pass rush going. So we'll see. And I think, that week off probably helped them. But I don't see their offensive line as anything special for Denver. So the Patriots have an opportunity here to be better because if they can hold up against that Houston defense, they can hold up against this one. So on to the NFC Championship and the Super Bowl.
Yep. So we got Rams at Seahawks, 12-5 at 14-3. The spread here is Seahawks -2.5. The over/under is 46.5, and the Rams are +120 on the money line. Seahawks are -145. Ace, I'll let you go first here, but before you do, just a note, but he missed on. We both missed on Houston. We both took Houston against the Pats last week, and we both took Buffalo against Denver last week. Ace covered on the. Ace also unfortunately missed on the Bears, which was unfortunate for him because big Bears fan there. But I covered on the Rams and I covered on the what was the other one I covered on? I covered on the Rams and Seattle. We both agreed on the Seattle one.
Yeah, you got lucky on the Rams. I got unlucky on the Bears.
Yeah. So yeah, it was me. I covered on Seattle and I covered on the Rams. Yeah, that's what it was. All right. NFC Championship game. Once again, I know I'm sorry I was breaking up, so I'll repeat myself. Rams are plus 2.5, Seahawks minus 2.5 on the money line. The money line is plus 120 to the Rams, minus 145 to the Seahawks, and the over-under is 46.5. So, Ace, I'll let you go first here.
Take the under. I think they're going to be able to get to Sam Darnold. If they could pick off Caleb Williams, they can pick off him. I'm taking the Rams. That is my lock this week. The Rams are going to go and they're going to win a second Super Bowl. And this is what's going to put Stafford in the Hall of Fame. Not that I think he deserves to be there, but he's going to win the MVP. He's going to win the Super Bowl MVP. And he's going to win this game. So that's where I'm putting my money.
Yes, he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. I don't know if he deserves to be a first ballot, but he definitely deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame?
Yes, he's Hall of Fame.
Okay.
Yes, my favorite quarterback ever in the history of the NFL. My favorite. He's my favorite.
He wasn't even that good for y'all.
In the history of the NFL. He was great for us. He was amazing for us. The rest of the team wasn't, but we won't need to get into that. The team wasn't great around him. The organization wasn't great around him. I wish he was still playing with us when we have a good coach, good organization, all of that good stuff. But anyway, it's bittersweet. I will say this: it's bittersweet seeing him, be so productive and so fortunate to be able to play at this level. I always figured he could do this. I always knew he could do this. You guys heard me. I've always supported him, even when he was on my Lions and everybody was trashing him. And I always said he was capable of it, but he didn't have a team to support it. Now he does, and we see the output. So I'm going to agree with you here, and I'm going to take the Rams to cover the number, and I think they'll win this outright. I would take the Rams on the money line, honestly. The Seahawks defense is really good. And the Seahawks defense, and this game, the Seahawks defense is really good. And this game played, if you remember, they played this game, I believe week 15, they played against each other. And it was 38-37 Seahawks in Seattle. But the Rams were in control most of that game. And then there was a punt return by Rashid Shaheed. And that flipped the game in Seahawks' favor, and then they just kind of rode that momentum all the way through to the victory. To me, that's the big concern. The Rams' special teams was not good in that game against the Bears. They were not good. They actually gave up there was the punt that gave the field position to the Bears and allowed them to be able to get that touchdown at the end of that game off of a bad punt. So I think that if the special teams plays to its level, I expect the defense to play well enough and give Matt Stafford that offense enough opportunities to score against the Seahawks, which they seem to be able to do and have done over the course of the season. So there's no reason for me to believe that the Seahawks defense will completely shut down the Rams. They haven't done it yet. And as a result of that, I think that the Rams keep this game relatively close. And if I'm putting my money down, I'm putting my money on the money line, and I'm just taking the gamble to take the Rams at plus 110. They're getting plus money on the Rams, which is great. So I would take that at this point too. So so there you have it. We both like the Rams in this game, in the Sunday night game at 6:30, and we're on the up. We're on opposite sides. I'm taking the Broncos, and Ace is taking the Patriots in the AFC Championship game.
The Denver game is going to be the high is 15 degrees that day, and that's playing at 3:00 East Coast time, which means they're going to be playing at noon Denver or 1:00 Denver time. So the warmest it'll be that entire game is 15 degrees.
I don't think that does. I mean, if anything, that bodes well for Denver just because of the altitude, right?
The air's thinner, and cold weather, and also at that altitude. But I don't know how much it's going to make a difference, honestly. But I just wanted to get that information. I don't think the cold bothers either team because the Patriots play in cold weather too, right? So I don't think that bothers either team, right? It's going to be 9 degrees tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. So
Yeah. Yeah. So, all right, we're getting ready to roll up out of here. Short and sweet, just like you mentioned. Any other bets, other sports that you're looking at? Anything that you want to talk about? Oh, we didn't talk about Miami, Indiana national championship game. How'd you like it?
I was pissed. Miami lost. Don't want to talk about it. They cost me money. Had they won the national,
I thought you had them getting to the Natty.
no, I had them winning. I bet that at the beginning of the tournament. Some other things came through, and I said, "Oh, let me put $20 on this." And it was plus 2,200, and it didn't win. So there I go. But I did take them on the points, and they ended up covering because of field goal. So they were getting 7 or 7.5. So it balanced out. But yeah, that would have been nice if they had won. And I was cheering for Miami in general because, I get it. It's a comeback story. The Big Ten won 3 years in a row, especially Indiana, who's just been notoriously trash. It's kind of like if, in basketball, who's not a basketball school who would win? It would be like if, not Arkansas. It'd be like if Texas won a national championship in basketball.
With the best player in the world.
With Kevin Durant. When Kevin Durant was there, if they'd have went on that run and won, which did not happen. Sometimes that just, But it just goes like that sometimes. But it was one of the best games I think I've ever seen, and I think 50 million people watched it. It did NFL numbers. Mm-hmm. So many people around the country were down to watch this because it was new teams and because of the run these teams had put on to get there. So
exactly, which again, say what you will about
the ACC is necessary.
But say what you will about the way that the tournament was set up, but it obviously, really it got the fans. Right? Oh yeah, it got the fans and the ratings, and it was the highest rated. I heard it was the highest rated national championship game. Not ever, but it was one of them. You know what I mean? So
I think going back to the Vince Young one against USC. Legitimate
USC,
and that was back in the early 2000s when everything wasn't on cable. That was an ABC game. This was only on ESPN.
Mm-hmm.
So think about that. Yep. This is a cable-only game, and it did that kind of number, which is crazy. Which is great for ESPN, which is why they paid all that money. But also, it shows ACC is really getting screwed in their TV deal. I don't know how much that matters because we see how good Miami is. We saw how good FSU was. The ACC deserves more respect. And Alabama never should have been in that tournament. They never should have been in the CFP. They got rolled by Indiana, 38-3. It was embarrassing. And also to all these SEC people, I know you hate on Alabama because you're LSU guys. So you get your coach Lane Kiffin. He didn't do what I suggested and skedaddle onto the NFL and get $15 million. But I still think it's a possibility. I don't trust that dude, but maybe he just wants to be in college.
You keep talking about it, man. It's not going to happen.
It is. All right. It's not going to happen. If he wins a national title at LSU, watch that man leave and then go replace somebody in the NFL when another 7 coaches get fired. But it is what it is.
Then I won't care. If he wins a national title, he's perfectly fine. Go ahead and leave. Go ahead. It's fine. We'll figure it out without you.
But yeah, that was pretty much it for me on the college thing. What did you take away from the game? That 4th and 5 was crazy.
The 4th and 5 was crazy. The play calling was really interesting. Going forward on 2 4th downs, I was watching and I was like, wait, is this an NFL game? I'm not used to these college coaches taking it, going down like that. I'll tell you this. It's the NIL is real. These teams that can get the kind of one-hit wonders, or they can get guys from other programs to come in, start for them, become stars for them, and help them make a run. It's really interesting because the SEC isn't they're just not rolling out the red carpet for the big conferences anymore. There's an opportunity, if you are the third guy or the third running back in the SEC on Alabama, and you're not seeing time, well, you can go play at Iowa, get paid, become the starter, and do big things, And Fernando Mendoza, was very impressive. He played well enough to get to be the number one pick. Is he a number one pick guy? Is he a Sunday superstar? I don't know. I don't know if I think that, but I could definitely see that he's at the very least. First off, Vegas is probably the best possible place.
Is he as good as Jared? Is he as good as Jameis Winston when he was drafted number 1 overall?
I think he's better than I think he's better than Jameis Winston because I don't think he's more talented than Jameis Winston. I think Jameis Winston has more talent in his arm than a vast number of quarterbacks in the NFL even today.
Yeah.
I think he's better than Jameis Winston because he makes better decisions, and he's not
even better.
You know, he's not like and he's athletic. He's got enough athleticism. He's just. I think he's going to be a steady quarterback. You know, he's going to be a steady quarterback. He's going to be somebody you're going to be fine investing.
Cuban Kirk Cousins.
Hey, it's a good career. It's a good career.
$100 million. You know, I'll take it.
Yeah,
might get it.
But yeah, it was a really good game, really interesting. But it's funny because it's like if you look at I did a look ahead for the top 25 going into next season.
Are you serious for college rankings?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
How could you possibly rank teams 11 through 25? Please explain that one to me.
Well,
James Madison. That's all I know.
I was just looking. So end of season, obviously, you know, the way the season ended, it was what do you call it? You know, Indiana was obviously 1, and Miami was 2, right?
Shocking.
And then the rest of it played out. But coming out of it, I'm trying to look at it. Look at the look ahead rankings. Have Ohio State as 1. So it's where I'm getting at is like, right. The funny thing is, no matter what, like Indiana and Miami just played in a national championship game. Okay.
Yeah.
The look ahead has, and this is coming from CBS Sports, so it's not like just me just throwing this out there.
Yeah.
Right? But the look ahead for 2026 has Ohio State 1, Texas 2, Georgia 3, Oregon 4, Notre Dame 5, Texas A&M 6, Texas Tech 7. Indiana is currently 8. Okay.
Well, Texas Tech did pay
Miami
$4 million or $5 million.
Miami's 13.
Hey, you know,
Miami's 13.
They don't got a quarterback.
So it's like, so that's what I'm saying. So the where we are right now is just at this point in the NCAA, you could win the championship,
and drop to 8,
and drop to 8 on the projections for next season. LSU's 14.
It kind of feels made up,
and Alabama's 15. Something happened.
How do y'all? Wait. How are y'all 14?
Lane Kiffin.
Isn't Nussmeier graduating?
Yeah, he is.
So then
he's out.
Who's your quarterback?
Sam Leavitt from Arizona State.
Y'all stole their quarterback.
Kiffin went and got him.
Beautiful.
Yeah, we stole Arizona State's quarterback. Yeah.
So nice of y'all to do that to them. Yeah. That's lovely.
Transfer portal, baby.
Transfer portal, baby.
That's how we do.
I love it. Yeah, that's true. We're getting our quarterback from Division II. Shout out to Buffalo. I don't want to bring up my school this week, but I'll finish with this and we can get out of here. That game that they allegedly threw, they lost that bet. And first of all, if you put down $400,000 on a MAC basketball game and that don't get flagged, that should tip you off to let you know the FBI is clearly listening to you. If you're betting on MAC basketball games between Buffalo and Kent State, you got a problem. P, we know you fixing this game. And 3, the feds is already on your phone. And they lost that game. They lost that bet. Buffalo covered. They weren't supposed to. So whatever points they were trying to shave, it didn't even work. It was 2 years ago. We still got the same head coach. We got a 4-star guy who got concussed. We were playing pretty well until he got hurt. But, this really makes the school bad. Also, I'm tired of everybody making it seem like we got no notoriety to us. Okay, we've won a couple of tournament games. We've been ranked before. We're not some BS school who don't invest in our teams. My school's got a lot of money. They're just cheap with it. They're not putting it into sports. They want actually people to learn something. So if you have a doctor or a lawyer or somebody who went to that university, just know that we're actually intelligent and we're not worrying about sports. You know, I'm not saying we're a nerd school, but I hate it when people go sunny Buffalo. It's just Buffalo, okay? University, Buffalo. Get it right. Put some respect on our name. And the guys threw another game, and that one they actually came through and cheated correctly. And then the guy did it the next season with him when he transferred down to another lower division school because they were like, "You suck, get out of here." The coach must have known something was up and said, "You need to leave. You, sir, need to leave. You got to get up out of here." And he kept doing it again. But somebody must be snitching because how else would you be getting this information on the fact that they all got paid $30,000? And they said 3 people on the team were in it, but only 2 people were in the indictment. So whoever that third person is, if they don't take plea deals, we'll see who it is in open court. But they don't allow pictures in the courtroom, but they do have to state their name for the record. And this also ties into the same thing that happened with Chauncey Billups. It's that same guy and the point shaving scandal that is tied to.
It's tied to that. I didn't know that was tied to
same
that.
guy who was alleged, Shane Hennon, who was tied to all that information. Pablo Torre finds out, spoke about that. It's the same individual who was influencing people, and a former teammate of Ben Simmons who played with him at LSU, 5-star prospect who was playing in China. He was the guy that connected him to the basketball players. So shout out to LSU on that one. Y'all too are involved. It's amazing how both of our favorite teams are involved in this scandal. Who knew? Such a small world.
I mean, it's so many teams, man. So many teams involved.
Mm-hmm. Y'all was cheating before you could pay people with your strong ass offers, and now you're cheating the wrong way to try to get people to shave points. But at least it didn't involve LSU because people would be on stat. But you're putting $400,000 on Buffalo versus Kent State somehow and not expecting to get caught. They're going to ban betting for everybody and ruin it for all of us. I'm just trying to make a little bit of scratch here, betting $20-$30, and these cats are coming in $400,000 on McNeese. Like, what? Where is that school? I don't even know. What are y'all doing? You must be insane. If you probably bet more than $1,000 on that game, they should just throw you in handcuffs. So you got a problem because they have to know. They got to know. They caught the pitchers doing it, and it was on one pitch. Anyways, that's my rant for the day. I'm done. Oh yeah.
Hey.
And one final shout out. Shout out to Dabo Sweeney for calling out that coach, talking about you were tampering with my player. Had an 8-minute video, did a press conference today, sent it to the NCAA to get him investigated. He's like, I'm going to show an example for all the young coaches out there. This is how you do it. They was calling my man while he was in class, talking about, hey, unenroll here, go there. Ole Miss tried to steal one of his players, and he was like, oh, I'm not going to let you do me dirty and get away with this. I'm going to talk about this. So shout out to him, somebody who's still trying to do things, I guess, the right way and not actually follow the rules, even as ridiculous as they are, but he's following them.
Well, I just have one shout out for today. Well, 2, but the other one is whatever. Just shout out to the Knicks for, trying to make some moves at the deadline. The team's been struggling a little bit, and whatever you can do to try to, fortify this group. I think this is just kind of, to me, I think every team goes through this. We saw the Thunder go through this. We've seen the Lakers go through it. We've seen all the teams in the league go through ups and downs and peaks and valleys in the course of the season, and the Knicks are currently in a valley type of situation now where they're just, not playing their best ball, but it's an 82-game season. It happens. But the fact that they're looking to make a couple of moves to fortify the roster in time for a playoff run, shout out to them for going for it. And last but not least, shout out to Naomi Osaka, who express yourself the way you want to in a match. Okay. So anybody that's not listening, anybody that doesn't know, Naomi Osaka played against I can't pronounce this woman's last name, Sarana Cirstea.
She's mad about that.
It was Sarana's final hurrah. She's, been around for a long time, and it was her farewell to the Australian Open. So she was obviously going for it and trying to win it. But Naomi beat her 6-3, 4-6, 6-4 in the second round at the Australian Open. But that's not what the issue is here. The controversy was when they finished the match, and Naomi and, obviously like tennis players do, they came and they shake hands at the net before they go, and they shake hands with the referee, and then they walk off. Sarana was a bit terse with Naomi, and kind of yelled at her a little bit. For what? For what would you think? It's for the fact that Naomi, in between serves, talked a little, pumped herself up. Didn't say anything to Serrana. She was just like screaming, "Come on," and giving herself hyping herself up. And obviously, Serrana took offense to this. Now, why would you have a problem with this? Me personally, I say the woman wasn't saying anything negative to her, to Serrana, about this. She wasn't putting you down or anything along those lines. And she was just hyping herself up. So you know what, Naomi? She said, hey, she could have just came to me and asked me to stop. And I would have stopped, because nobody else has ever said this to me before. And I've been doing this for however many years that she's been on tour doing this. She does this all the time. And Serrana, if you've been a professional for your entire time, I'm sure Naomi Osaka is not the only person to do this. And I know this because guess who also does it? Who also did it a lot during her career? Serena Williams. Always hyped herself up. You'd hear her screaming on the side, getting herself pumped up and everything, getting the energy from the crowd. This is what they do. And whatever they need to do in order to get themselves ready to play a match, you know what? It worked because she beat you. So props to Naomi. Do your thing, shorty. Get it done. Get your win. I'm watching the Australian Open. I have been enjoying what of it I could see, because obviously the time zone is different. But yeah, shout out to her for go ahead and be yourself, and great career, Serrana. And I hope you enjoy whatever's next for you. But yeah, calm down.
Knicks Sixers.
Go play pickleball.
Knicks Sixers tomorrow at 3 p.m. Take the Knicks. Sixers went played the overtime game against Houston. They should be tired. Knicks played an easy game 2 days ago. They should be rested. I'm taking the Knicks and the points. The Knicks are getting 1.5. So you can bet them money line and make some bread. Peace. We out.
Peace out.